Hello my friends, and welcome back to my channel, Coffee Tea Paper. My name is Louise and I do apologise that I'm a bit late with the prompt. The weekend was crazy, my husband was away, I had the journal keepers meet up and there were all the usual moving parts plus a few extras thrown in. And look, to be frank, I just wasn't organised early enough last week to even do it in advance. Anyway, we're here now, so I hope none of you have been sweating on it too much. I just noticed when I was getting the box out that the prompt from last week was actually the one that's featured on the box, and it has the person in there with her little bag of hope, which is nice, which of course I'm using the word hope as my low-key word of the year. So we'll put forest ceiling away and see what we have. That's jolly. Oh, I actually like the picture with the, it looks like, I know this is white, but it kind of looks like colourful snow, sort of back the front. Anyway, the prompt is hail. So let's have a read about hail. When hail falls and it feels like the world is falling with it, it's easy to sink into feeling overwhelmed, helpless, and anxious. We shut down because we feel too insignificant to do anything. The thing is, we are insignificant. Little accomplishments will never seem enough for the enormous task at hand, putting the world back together or providing help for others. But by contributing the resources we have, our creativity, our kindness, our compassion, we become part of something significant. We no longer feel stuck in the hailstorm. Pick a charity, pick a cause, or choose a friend and send some compassion their way. This is often a reoccurring theme with this box, which I don't mind at all. I think it's a really nice theme, that idea of creating community or being mindful of the community that you're in, whether you are an active participant or not. And just that reminder that small gestures can have huge impacts. When I was reading this card, it kind of put me in mind of, because I've got a 14-year-old son, so Marvel movies are quite popular in our house, and there's always that that one superhero. So early on with those sort of superhero movies, there was always just the focus on the one person, Superman or Spider-Man or Iron Man. There's a lot of man, and so forth, all working as an individual who had to basically go and save the world. Now, I'm sorry if this is a spoiler alert, but as the franchise has progressed, there has been this shift into having the individual superheroes work together and be more powerful as a community. So I think that's interesting as well, because it's that saying, no person is an island, and you shouldn't be. And I think it is easy to feel insignificant, but I was just saying to someone today, we were talking about sort of small changes you can do. Like, I haven't bought a box of Glad wrap, I think, in about 15 years. I just decided that there were other ways that I could store things without just covering them in Glad wrap, putting them into a reusable container, or just not putting Glad wrap or any sort of cover on it overall, if it's at all, if it's something that's just going in the fridge for a very short period of time. And I haven't actually missed it. If I'm going over to somebody's place and I need to cover the food on a platter or something, I use a tea towel. Small changes, and it can feel insignificant, but if we all do it, it can really make a big impact. Anyway, enough of me rabbiting on. I quite like this image actually. I mean, hail, gosh, it's terrifying. That's the big fear here, often in southeast Queensland, about getting stuck in hail. We're always looking at the sky going, oh, do you think it looks a bit green? Do you think that looks green? Is that cloud a bit green? Do you think there's hail in that cloud? Because, of course, nobody wants to have their car hail damaged, or we have a lot of tin roofs. I mean, you have hail that breaks tiles on roofs as well, and just the noise and the clattering can be quite scary to have a really big hailstorm on a tin roof. But I like this image. I'm just gonna try and see what we can do. Anyway, I'm gonna put a few things together, and I just hear that my washing machine has finished. That was very poor timing on my behalf. So while I am hanging up my washing, I'm going to have a think about what to decorate my page with in terms of this card, and join me in a few moments. Okay, so once again, I'm just going to start off really simple, and I decided, first of all, I was thinking about doing watercolor, and then I thought, no, look, I'm going to use this sparkling ink by Ferris Wheel Press called Mulberry Majesty, just to add an extra bit of a shimmer and a shine on the page, because it's, it's nice, right? And I'm just going to imitate this artwork on here and do the circles with this black fine liner, and then try to paint in and around them like they've done on this card. And I thought I would use this person because the word that I really like on this card that has stood out to me, I think, is compassion. And the thing is, if more people showed compassion, or we showed compassion on as an individual basis to build up to a community, I think that would tone down that feeling of insignificance, right? But I hope I'm making sense. I don't know if I'm making sense. Now, I'm using a couple of new things today that were gifted from a beautiful, beautiful friend of mine who's doing a little bit of decluttering at the moment, and she thought of me. And one of them is this beautiful Estabrook B book page holder, which I have to say, that's something I have had my eye on for a very long time. So it was just, I was so grateful that she thought of me and asked me if I would like to rehome it, because the answer is definitely yes. I'm very happy to rehome this beautiful bee. And it's just nice to have something, a variety of options to hold your pages open. I've chosen this person because otherwise, it's going to be a bit boring, right? I want to give a bit of context, and she's in purple and she's picking up the phone. And sometimes I think in this day and age we forget that everyone's within our reach if it's just a matter of even 5 minutes to call someone and leave a voicemail or send a text. I just thought that that's a nice way of just showing that small, insignificant acts can actually be quite meaningful. That's all where my head is. So I'm going to put some music on and get playing with pen and ink and stickers, and one of my other gifts from my friend, which are some stamps, and let's get going. So these stamps were another gift from my friend, and they've got a bit of a cool trick in that they snap together, so you don't have to try and line up all your letters. How cool is that? I'd never seen such a thing before. So there we go. We have hail. So I'm going to stamp that out on a few places because the hail will be hailing down. Oh, and in the meantime, I'm drinking here a cup of iced roasted barley tea. Now, I've been really enjoying this lately. It's winter here at the moment, and I find in winter that often I don't drink enough water, but this roasted barley tea just has a really nice flavour. It's caffeine free, there's no sugar in it or anything like that. It's just really tasty and makes me drink more. Kind of smells and tastes a bit like popcorn. It probably sounds weird, but it's nice. It's super refreshing. Oh, that's so cool. So cool. Oh, that's just awesome. Thank you so much, Roz. I really, really love it. I can see me using these a lot for my travel journal as well. And like hail, which okay. So if someone throws an ice cube at you, unless they're an incredibly accurate shot and it's an incredibly large ice cube, it's not really gonna hurt, right? And we can probably feel that way about actions that we take as well. But if 100 people stood there and threw ice cubes at you, that would hurt. So it would make an impact. I'm going to write something about that here, something along the lines of small acts of compassion can combine for maximum impact. Maybe that. All right, my friends, that is it for this week. I know I haven't really done all that much. I've drawn some circles and splashed some ink and put a sticker down and written some text, but I really like the analogy of this card, and so I'm quite happy just to give my basically direct copy or recreation of this card. Sometimes simple is okay. I've got no idea how the other side of the page is looking. Let's see. Look at that. That's pretty awesome. Oh, look, I had more bleed through from the stamping than I did from the ink. Oh, good to know. Good on you, Ferris wheel press. No bleed through. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for watching. And let me know what you think of this one. Is it a yay or a nay? Is this one of those ones that I think I was a bit underwhelmed with initially, but I'm liking it more and more the more I think about it. I think it's a really, really good one. So here we are. We're in week 32, but this is the pages for week 32. And yeah, go forth and create. Bye.